Everyone says it can't be done. Ducks fly again.
I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
Cold. Very cold. The only tough part when it's cold is loading up the bus.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Devils winning OT!
I think you're going to want to hear this.
That audio still cracks me up, Sal. The fact that I found that audio of you. It cracks me up every time I hear it.
I don't even remember that anymore.
You were at a game, and it was an overtime. I got the clips. It's still like 5 years. It's like from 4 years ago. It's absolutely... I found it literally...
I don't even remember.
I found it in like this backup archive file that I found a whole bunch of our archives in. Like ridiculous backup archive file that I found.
It just seemed like
you
it
don't
was
remember?
yesterday.
Were you drunk?
No, it was
that happens
possibly.
No, it was 4 years ago. I guarantee it was not out of that thing. So anyway, our first, like I said, slow news week. But we do have one story that broke out, and it's a big deal. Because anytime this team gets honored, I like to bring it up. The 1998 U.S. Olympic women's hockey team will be enshrined in another sports hall of fame, the COS Sports Hall of Fame, another big U.S. Hall of Fame. Anytime this team gets recognized, I appreciate it. Am I right, Sal? Yeah, I think, because I recorded, just for people to know, recorded next week's show already. And I talked to Mike about the women's hockey situation. And I think we said about the 1998 teams, USA and Canada, there would not be a women's league now if it wasn't for the success of the 98 teams.
Yeah. They deserve this.
Oh, absolutely.
Scotty, what do you think?
I demand an explanation of how Sal gets every week off or every other week off. How does he have the PTO time from this show? Anyways, no, I mean, women's hockey is important. You know, I mean, it's definitely beneficial for all hockey. So good for them. You know, a little recognition is always good.
I agree with that sentiment 100%. By the way, though, we'll jump over to the Devils in the NHL. By the way, going into tonight, 8-2, Sal. 8-2.
Woo!
What the hell's going on?
Don't question it.
Well, I just want to make a quick awesome moment. Brian Boyle's coming back tonight.
Yay.
That's a big deal. For those who don't know, Brian Boyle is actually suffering from leukemia. And tonight's his first game back.
Excellent.
It's a very big deal. And it's really exciting. And he's in Vancouver. And I can't believe he's starting his first game in Vancouver, of all places. It's kind of crazy.
I don't think there's going to be a dry eye in the house.
It's going to be fantastic. That's tonight.
Very emotional.
Also, we brought up the women's hockey. I didn't write this down, but I just remembered that this past Saturday, Sal, was the first cross game. You want to explain this to people? Because you've been covering this. You've been following the story a lot closer than me.
So it was the first ever dual not head-to-head. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cross promotion?
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back. Doubleheader. There you go, doubleheader.
Yep. So the NWHL played their very first game in history inside a hockey arena.
It's at the Prudential Center, the Prudential Center at the Rock, the Metropolitan Riveters. That's what they're called now. So, and they won, which is an even bigger deal.
Yes.
So, I'm very proud of the team. I'm proud of the association. I'm not going to lie. It's really cool to have.
I'm very, very happy that the Devils have decided to partner with the NWHL and with the Riveters. I think it's a great thing, and it's going to really help the league grow.
Oh, and if there's some people here that aren't Devils fans, so you're not listening to the Devils Insider radio show, the Devils Insider, wrong show. Devils, I'm going to get the right show. I plugged the wrong show there. Sorry, but Devils All Access Podcast. That's what I meant. Devils All Access Podcast. Well, we have friends over at Devils Insider, so I just had to make sure I plugged the right show. Devils All Access Podcast, the one that goes up at Cal every Thursday. If you want to hear something cool, last week they actually had a couple of the women from the Riveters on their show.
Oh wow!
And they talk about the league, and they talk about the connection with the Devils. It's actually really cool interviews. It's a really cool interview. So that's up. That's the last episode of Devils All Access. And if you're not a Devils fan, you should still listen because it's a really good talk about the hockey league itself. So that's pretty cool. We always talk about them. We always check in on them, and that is the Vegas Golden Knights. And they're 8-3. How the hell is this team doing so damn well, Sal?
Where do they come from?
They have no defense. They can't keep a lead, but they keep winning games.
It's
Their
the
third
vitamin
string
water.
goaltender got the team's first shutout.
I know.
I'm telling you, it's the vitamin water that's supplied by the trainer.
The funny part is, like Sal said, though, they have a third-string goaltender in net, and he got a shutout for this team.
Do you know who that third-string goaltender is?
Who is that third string?
Might be a second.
Bad Scotty, tell us.
It's PK Subban's brother.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Jordan Subban. He might be the second, but I mean, he was stuck in the AHL forever, and he signed with Vegas as a free agent, and he was actually playing more games with them now. He might be the second, but
still,
it for sure is PK Subban's younger brother.
Very cool. I'm impressed by the Golden Knights. Every time I follow them, I follow a game. I keep track of them now because I just want to see how they're doing. And every game, I keep track of them.
Yeah.
And they're impressive. They're an impressive bunch. They had their
talent.
They had a penalty shot goal in their game the other day, and actually this stat came up. I didn't even look this stat up. Apparently, there have been franchises that are expansion franchises that didn't get a penalty shot goal until like their third season. And the Golden Knights did it in their like 11th game.
I'm telling you,
sad?
they've got talent, and they came to play, and they want
It's
people.
fun. It's so much fun.
They're earning their respect.
It's so much fun. The funny part is, I know I looked at the standings, and despite being 8-3, they're not in first place in their division. It's hysterical.
And that's sad, too.
But the season's not over yet. Give
No,
it time.
it's just starting. We're just starting.
Give it time.
We're just starting. It's just funny. And Scotty, I'll throw it over to you for the Nashville Predators, who are currently 5-4-2. How the Preds looking right now, there, Scotty?
Not terrible, but not the start, that I was hoping for. But I mean, they kind of start out the same way they do every year, going in spurts. Big surprise is how Philip Forsberg has been scoring. I mean, last year it took him 20-some games to get his first goal, and now he leads the team in goals. Like, I like to refer to him as Scoresberg now, because it just seems he scores. They've had a kind of a little bit of an off week. Not kind of, they've been off, but they're in San Jose tonight doing their annual West Trip Coast. So, I mean, we're okay. We're still in the thick of things. It's still early, but I'm not too mad. I can't complain.
By the way, I looked at the standings, and the reason that the Knights are not in first place is because the Kings are in first place at 9-2-1.
I fucking hate the Kings.
Don't count the Knights out.
I love it. I love the fact that this franchise is great right now. I
wouldn't be surprised if you see the Knights in the playoffs.
Oh, no, it's early. It's still early. It's not. It's November. We just started November. But as it was made clear to me, there's a lot of hockey to be played between now and the end of the year. Amanda's time made that clear.
You forgot to put on here the Arizona story.
Oh, yeah. You can have this one. Explain this one to people. This one's hysterical. This story is hysterical.
So, Arizona comes to town. They lose to the Devils. They go 0-10-1. We find out immediately after the game that I guess you could call him, he was our third-string goaltender, Scott Wedgwood, was traded for a fifth-round pick or something, flies back to Arizona with the team, and plays the very next game, and Arizona wins. So there you go. You're welcome. We gave you your first win.
Oh, my God. It's hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. That was one of the funniest stories of the week. I texted you that immediately when I saw the alert on my phone. I'm like, what the hell? I could not believe it. It was absolutely amazing. So, we'll get out of the hockey world for a second. I do have a segment that I'm bringing back for Scotty. I don't think Scotty even knows about this yet because he doesn't have the run sheet in front of him. So he doesn't even know what I'm about to play. Because I'm going to play some music he has not heard in a long, long time. Scotty, are you ready for this?
Yep, good to go.
Are you ready for this, though? It's music you haven't heard in a long time. Yes, Scotty, I brought back the Across the Pond soccer segment from the archives.
Yeah.
This is actually music that Scotty made for his own show that doesn't happen anymore, and I brought it back out from the archives for tonight. Pretty good, Scotty. Would appreciate that. Am I right?
Yeah, and if I ever do my own show again, I have a new theme song for it.
If it's the Chelsea theme, I'm not playing it right now. Ole, ole, ole. But Scotty, I do have
football is the game.
Okay, I'm going to mute you if you don't start. Okay, I have to set something up first because I have a clip I have to play. So, I say this like I can actually mute him. I really can't. But anyway, we did not talk about this on our last show because honestly, me and Sal have nothing to do with the soccer world like at all. We really don't talk about soccer on this show unless Scotty's here. And because we normally record in the morning, we don't talk soccer much. But this was such a big international story that we have to address it now that Scotty's here. And that was the World Cup situation with Team USA. And I know it's a hard spot for Scotty to talk about, but I do have a clip I want to play that happened the night that this game happened. So we'll flash back to the beginning of October, and a few weeks back, and when Team USA lost the World Cup qualifying game to Trinidad and Tobago, and this happened on ESPN.
It's not about tonight. It's not about Jurgen Klinsmann. It's not just about Bruce Arena. As a whole, U.S. soccer is not prepared. They have not done a good enough job of getting this group ready to play. And keep in mind, the last two Olympics, no United States. Those players that would be playing in the Olympics, 24 through 28, how many of them are in this roster? The players got to be good enough too. So a lot of people on social media right now want to say it's Jurgen Klinsmann's fault, it's Bruce Arena's fault, it's Sunil Gulati's fault. By the way, as an ex-player, every single one of those players,
they can take some
nightmares for the rest of their lives because this is an utter embarrassment with the amount of money that is in Major League Soccer and in this sport. You can't get a draw, a tie against Trinidad? Max, you don't deserve to go to the World Cup.
They certainly did. And people always say about it's tough to get points here, but I see Mexico get points.
Come on.
We can stop using that excuse.
Yes.
This is, you look at this team, you look at this, they're going to be sitting around next summer and they're going to be watching this World Cup go on without them. So what does this program do? Is this group, do you blow it up?
This is everything though, Max. So, because I remind everyone, 2,000 euros, Germany laid an egg and they all came together. Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, DFB, the German Football Federation, all came together with a 10-year plan. Guess what happened in 10 years? They won that World Cup. If this failure does not wake up everyone from U.S. soccer to Major League Soccer, from pay-to-play to broadcasters to everything, then we're all insane. Because the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing, knowing the results.
Love it.
And if we don't change it, and I mean we, everyone in U.S. soccer, then what are we doing? What's the point? Because that should have never happened with the $1 billion plus that is going into Major League Soccer and youth development. That should have never happened, and it did, and every single person should look themselves in the mirror. And by the way, that's including myself. Yeah, I'm part of U.S. soccer.
We're all involved in this.
I played for the program. It's embarrassing.
We're all involved, and we're sick, and we look at what this team has been able to do, and a lot of times the criticism comes and they repel the criticism. The criticism is going to come in thick and fast.
Let's
I hear what you're saying now. The gloves are off at this point, and people got to be real.
Well, you and I have talked about this off camera. Well, guess what? I see that little red light. It's on, and I'm going to bring it up right now.
Okay.
The gloves should have been off years ago. We should have been having real criticism. And the discussion after Brazil, Max, was can we beat the Colombias and the Belgiums and the Argentinas of the world? You kidding me? We can't beat Trinidad on a field that's too wet and too heavy? What are we doing? What are we doing? This is the discussion that's being had. It's remarkable to me when I go in this stupid thing right here and how ignorant people are when the rest of the world, Belgium played Bosnia on a cow pasture.
Scotty, I throw it to you. Your thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him 100%. I applaud him for making that statement. You know, in all honesty, you know, that should have never happened. You know, we should have never lost to Trinidad and Tobago. You know, there's just no heart in this team. You know, one player who